Hey there, Dance Studio owners. Clint Salter here, founder of the Dance Studio Owners Association, and welcome to the Transform My Dance Studio podcast. You are in for an absolute treat over the next 8 weeks as we have a brand new series called Make Dance Fun with confetti on the dance floor. This very special series is hosted by the amazing and phenomenal Becca and Dani Rosenberg, who are the co-owners of Rhythm Dance Center in Georgia. They're celebrating their, get this, 27th season, and Rhythm is home to more than 1,100 amazing students. I love these ladies. I have great conversations with them when we're speaking at events, and they've also spoken at our Inner Circle event for our members, and were such a hit. And now we get to bring them to you over the next 8 weeks, where they're going to be sharing their history as studio owners, their business partnership, and their overall approach to teaching and running a fun and successful studio. Now, before we get on to this week's episode, I want to remind you, if you haven't already yet got your ticket to Dance Studio Domination, our live event that we are running in New York City from the 2nd to the 4th of August 2019. What are you waiting for? Please jump on over to our website now. Go to dsoa.com/domination for all of the details. Now, let's get on with the show. Make dance fun again with confetti on the dance floor.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We hope you all had a fabulous holiday and enjoyed a little downtime and a much, much deserved break. I'm Dani Rosenberg.
And I'm Becca Moore.
And we are the co-owners of Confetti on the Dance Floor and Rhythm Dance Center in Marietta, Georgia. This is episode 4 of our 8-part series. So it's January, and you're probably back in the studios working hard already, and you've likely thought about some new goals for the year. If you listen to our last episode, we gave you a list of 19 fun things that we are challenging you, and we're actually challenging ourselves to make this happen in our studio, to check off throughout the season. As you accomplish these fun things, we want you to remember to post about it on your social media and use the hashtag ConfettiFun19 in 2019.
And if you haven't listened to that episode yet, you should go listen to it because it's really good. And it's
so many fun things.
Basically, instead of like challenging you to set all these like new resolutions for the year, we've given you 19 really fun things to do in your studio, which is going to make your studio amazing.
Yes.
So check it out.
Yes. So today we want to focus on finding the fun behind some of your more daunting tasks. Like Becca just said, last week's was all about fun. Now we want to find the fun behind those things that you have to do and you have to get done, but they're not really quite so fun. So basically we want to help you get things done, but in a fun and fresh way. So our theme for today is fresh, done, but with fun.
Yes. So our first thing that we have 5 things that we're going to talk about that we're going to give you some fresh ideas for. So the first thing is to create a fresh and inspiring workspace. So this is because you, as the studio owner or dance teacher, you probably have a big to-do list that goes way beyond what you do actually in the studio when you're teaching or rehearsing or whatever. So maybe you have an office in your home or an office at your studio. And so what we want you to do is just make sure that it is an inviting space, that it's a space that you enjoy being in. So consider a refresh to start the year. Maybe that means you get a new desk, you just hang up some new art or posters, maybe you give it a fresh coat of paint, clean it up. Just make sure it's an area that's inspiring to you, because if you are in a space that inspires you, you're most likely going to be more productive and creative. So Dani and I actually have a completely separate office space from our dance studio. Rhythm Dance Center is amazing and we love it and it's super fun and crazy, but we don't have space for an office there.
We had a small space at one point, but it turned into a storage room, and we definitely did not enjoy it.
Yeah, it was. And so for forever, we would always meet every day. We're like, where are you going to meet? We want to meet today. We would meet at a Starbucks or we'd meet at Panera or wherever.
Anywhere we could get online.
Yeah, we basically, because we knew once we got to the studio, we were not going to be able to cross anything off of our to-do list. We were going to, when we're at the studio, we're teaching or rehearsing or we're meeting with staff or talking to parents. So anyway, we have a separate office space. You may have seen it on Instagram. If you want to check it out, you can find it on our Instagram. I think the hashtag for that is Rhythm C Space. So we call it C Space. It's basically our creative space. So we rented it about 5 years ago, and we always say it's one of the best things we've done for our business. And it really is. It's only about 10 minutes away from the studio. We literally meet there every day. We hold staff meetings there. And it is an extra expense, but it is definitely one that has paid off for us, as it's really given us a creative space to help grow our business. Like we said, when we're at Rhythm, we're usually in a rehearsal or we're in class or we're chatting or meeting with our staff. I mean, and like at your studio, if you're there, like if you are outside of the actual dance studio, people are wanting to talk to you.
People are going to come to you.
Yes.
Even your staff will get things done on their own, and they'll answer questions on their own if you're not in the building. But as soon as they know that you're there, they're going to ask for your opinion and such.
Yes. So this is an awesome space, and we've made it really pretty and really cute because we like that.
We like cute and pretty things.
Yeah. So, and it's kind of evolved over the past 5 years, but it kind of looks like an event space. Like we definitely have had some parties here, like for our staff. We've had obviously staff meetings. But it comes in handy. We even have like a little, like a studio. It's like a studio space. So there's mirrors, so we can use it for choreography as well. So anyway, for us, that has been a huge, huge thing for us, like to really have a separate location for us to actually get everything done.
Even though we're right down the street, it's literally less than 10 minutes away. When we're here, nobody bothers us.
Yeah, it's awesome. So if having a separate office space is not an option for you, then try to find the cutest, most inspiring coffee shop that you can go to. Or there's a lot of shared workspaces now too, that you can pay like a pretty minimal fee to go in and have a workspace, and they provide Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. And better yet, like if it's not a coffee shop near you, like go to one outside your area, because also when you're at the local Starbucks, you run into people from your studio, and as great as that is, obviously when you're trying to get something done, you need to focus. So try to, get outside your area a little bit. The bottom line is just for you to be as productive as you need to be. Find a place that you can work that you find inspiring, and it's just a little removed from the actual studio. It's really done wonders for us and our business. Yes. And I mean, I honestly can't imagine how we would make it all happen. If we had to make it happen at Rhythm, it would have happened. So number one was make sure that you have a fresh and inspiring workspace. And that's a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Yes. Do that.
So number two is freshen up your dance life by attending a workshop or a convention for yourself. We all spend so much time putting schedules together and spending time at conventions and competitions with our kids, focusing on their dance training, but we tend to forget about ourselves. So we want you to try to squeeze in your schedule somewhere, a workshop or a convention that's specific to dance teachers and studio owners. There are so many of them to choose from that cater to us and exactly what we do. And they all have something amazing to offer. You have to remember that attending a convention is an investment. So when you're looking through these options and you're like, I can't believe I'm going to pay all of this and I have to get there and I might have to fly and stay in a hotel, it's an investment for your studio. And when you're thinking it's crazy that I'm going to spend that kind of money, you just have to remember the benefits that you're going to see on the back end as your year progresses.
I know the very first one that Dani and I ever attended, it was actually Regold's conference. And it was quite some time ago. But we just the two of us went, and we attended it with one focus, and our focus was our preschool program. Right. Like we knew we wanted to refresh our preschool program, and that was our goal. And so we kind of went into it knowing that we wanted to do that. And it was awesome. Like we
had no idea. And it was quite expensive, but we thought, you know what, this is where our focus is right now, and let's see what we can get out of this. And we left so inspired,
and I think you can really
so many ideas that it was beyond worth what we spent and the time we spent.
I think you can really think of it as like a marketing budget for your studio.
Absolutely,
because when you invest back into your studio through learning and education, it's showing everyone that you want to better yourself. I know the first time we go to the Dance Teacher Summit now every summer. That's what we've been doing for the past, a lot of years. But that's the one that kind of works for us and our staff. And like we said, there's tons out there to choose from. But the first time we took people, they were so excited about it. Like, I think that they just had never been to something like that where they were around so many different dance teachers, different office managers.
And while it's obviously a work-focused environment, they almost felt like they were on a little vacation. It was like a retreat for them to get away with only adults, all like-minded people.
And they all came back and they were all so motivated and excited to start the new year. That's what we said. We're like, okay, this is better than spending money on advertising because now we've like refreshed our staff and they are coming back motivated.
Ready to go and on the same page and understanding the goals that we had for the year.
Yes. So it's definitely awesome.
So on that note, if possible, we suggest if you're going to schedule to go to one of these conventions or workshops, we suggest trying to take at least one of your staff with you. Again, it is more money, but it is worth the expense. If you can take multiple employees, that would be great, but just take at least one with you. So just somebody to bounce ideas off of and to help retain the information. You get a lot of stuff thrown at you at these workshops, and it's incredible, but it's really hard to remember everything and to take notes. So just having someone to bounce those ideas off of and the things you're learning is great. Also, spending quality time with your staff, even if it's just some of your staff, it's so much fun and likely something you never have time to do during the dance season.
Yeah, because you're usually like focusing on whatever's going on at the studio or getting choreography done or getting costuming done or just teaching your classes.
I think that's why our staff feels like it's like a little vacation retreat. They actually get to hang out with us too. And that's such a rare thing because we're all always so busy. So while you're at the retreat, one thing that we like to do is we throw in some extra fun stuff. You usually have a tight schedule when you get to these conventions, but there's always time for some fun. So while you're taking notes all day long and your brain's about to explode because you've learned so much stuff and so many things you want to bring back to the studio, find a little bit of time to do some fun stuff. Schedule a really fun dinner at a cool restaurant that's in the area. We were at the Dance Teacher Summit in New York this summer, and we obviously went to dinner a couple of times, but on the last day after we completed the whole summit, we went to Flower Shop, which is a really cute little bakery in New York, and we bought this awesome cake that
it was huge.
You cut it in half and confetti comes out of it, which was obviously
sprinkles, not confetti.
It was sprinkles.
It looks like
confetti when it all falls out.
It's very colorful.
Which is right up our alley. So we had like a little celebration for our staff that we completed.
And it was kind of random and it was kind of out of the way, but it was just like a really fun way to end.
And it was unexpected. They didn't know where we were going. They were like, "Where are you taking us?" We're like, "Just get in the taxi. Let's go." But it was so much fun. And they learned so much. They worked hard all week or all weekend during the summit. So we just thought it was a fun little surprise at the end.
Yes. So number 2 would be to freshen up your dance life by trying to attend a workshop or convention for yourself and try to take 1 or 2 of your staff members with you if you can. It will definitely be worth it. Number 3 is the fresh and new calendar, aka the mega calendar. So this is something that we did for the first time this year. So basically, you probably have a calendar or shared Google Calendar or something that you use for your studio. I think most people do. And we do have that. However, one thing that we found last year is that there were a few things that were just kind of getting lost in the shuffle. So what we wanted to do at the beginning of the year this year is we created a Google Doc, and we literally had every staff member contribute to it. We had a page for every month, or we have every month listed out, and we had everybody go in and write in everything that they could possibly think of. Everything that happened during that month. It was,
and it wasn't just things that Becca and I had to take care of.
Yeah, it was basically big picture. Yeah, everything from ordering costumes to registering for convention to planning our company party to sending out an email about extra group auditions, sending out company audition emails, like so many things. And once we did that, we had one of our staff members kind of go back and like condense it a little bit and find the major bullet points that were really important. And then we had her create basically a big calendar.
Like a normal size calendar for the wall. It's probably
like the size of like a poster board,
like
I would say.
2 feet by 3 feet or something.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
And she added all the major things in, and there's like a little checkbox beside it. And it seems like a little bit obnoxious to do that, but our thing was, if we can have this big thing, this big calendar hanging on the wall in our staff room, that means everybody looks at it. Every one of our staff members that go into the office see it on a daily basis. And it just, can kind of keep us.
It's a constant reminder.
Yes, keep us in the loop.
We all have, calendars on our phones and on our computers, and we are looking at them, but it's a lot easier to close your computer at night or in the morning or not look at your calendar on your phone and let things slip. So
yes,
we all know everyone's going to hang out in our staff rooms. So when they walk in, you can't miss it.
Yeah. And so she did it, and she used Canva, which we've talked about in one of our previous episodes, to design it. And it's really cute. And it has a little bit of like a Willy Wonka feel. And that's our show theme for this season. So it's got like cute, colorful dots on it. And we've even gotten a lot of compliments. Like we had our senior company was in there like a few weeks ago getting fitted for a costume. And they're like, oh my gosh, that calendar's so cool. But basically, it's just a reminder for all of us, like this is what's going on right now. And we have about 4 months displayed at a time, I think. And then there's also an area on the calendar that has some blank lines so that we can fill things in if we think of anything else. And it's fun to check off the things. Once we get it done, we're like super excited to check it off.
A lot of times I personally make lists just so I can feel good about checking things off.
Yes. But in addition to like Dani said, like we can all see it and we can all be held accountable for it. And then it's even prompted some of our staff members to get a jump start on things that are due for later in the year. So anyway, we highly recommend our mega calendar.
Yeah, and as much as it's cute and it's cute to look at, so that makes it fun. When you know that your staff members are taking charge and taking care of the things that are on the list, you can have more fun doing the things you want to do, like teaching a class or choreographing. You know that things are getting done without it having to come out of your brain.
Yeah, and it's like a group effort, which I think is really important.
So that was fresh and new calendar, number 3, the mega calendar. All right, next is number 4, a fresh start to your dance season by planning a retreat for your staff to kick off your new season. This is something that could be done really any time of year, but the start of a new dance season is really the best time to get your faculty all together and on the same page with your goals for the new year. So whether it's a small one-day event or multiple days, mix all that hard work with some fun. We always do a kickoff staff meeting at the beginning of our season, and we usually take them out to a nice dinner after we meet at our C-Space, our office space, where they can all just hang out and chat. Well, to kick off our 25th season, which was last season, we went a little bit further. We went a little extreme, and we rented a cabin in the North Georgia mountains, which is not too far from us. And we had the whole staff join us for a couple of days. We started planning this several months in advance. As you know, if you rent a cabin or anything like that, you've got to start, at least to save the date, start planning a little early. And we let them know that it wasn't really an option to not attend, just like a staff meeting would be. They were all required.
I mean, everybody wanted to attend because it was a really fun thing. And we put a lot of thought into it. So it was a fun way to start off our year.
Yes. So we used this time together to do all the things that we would normally do in our staff meeting. As you would normally do, we reviewed all of our studio policies, our staff expectations, all that kind of stuff. But we didn't feel like we had to be rushed through it all. We didn't have to, we weren't so stuck to a strict timeline.
We also did a thing where we separated into different round tables for every genre of dance. And like all the jazz teachers got together, all the tap teachers got together. We did a preschool brainstorming thing. And so they
were all sharing a Google Doc.
Yes.
So that once we
shared a lot of different ideas, and then we recorded it all in Google Docs for everybody to see. And so this was just like a time for everybody to share the different things that they do in their classes.
And with no real time constraints. So they didn't feel like they were rushing through everything.
Yes.
So in addition to all the work that we had planned, we scheduled a good bit of fun in there as well, as we tend to do. We arrived at the cabin a little bit early and decorated just like we would for a small party. Each teacher received a really cute goodie bag, which was an inexpensive tote bag that we got at Hobby Lobby. And a lot of them, I see them still using
I think
them.
The tote bag was like literally $3.99.
Maybe. And I think it was 50% off.
Yeah.
We tied a wow card to it, which, most of you know what our little wow cards are, which they loved, having a wow card on their bag. We also included a Spark Source in their goodie bag, which is a fun planner for fun dance teachers that has a bunch of different sections to help you get your dance life organized. This is what we sell it in our confetti shop, but it has everything in it from calendars to a place to sketch out your costumes, fun quotes, inspiring quotes, and even a self-care section. And then in addition, we put a few other little small goodies and fun gifts into their goodie bag. Also, one thing that we did, which was really nice for each of them, is we had each staff member write a really nice message to each other on a Post-it note. So we had stacks of Post-it notes all over the cabin, And anytime they had downtime, they weren't working on something else.
They just gave a compliment. They just wrote a nice little compliment
to every single staff member. And then we had different sections around the cabin for each of us to collect all of our notes. So the walls were covered in really nice compliments about each other, which obviously made everybody feel really good.
Yeah, so everybody like took them home, like they all put them on one piece of paper and they got to all take them home.
Just
so that was nice. Yeah,
nice reminders for the rest of the year. They could, hang them in their bedrooms or wherever, keep them in a notebook wherever they wanted to. But just nice reminders of how what their colleagues feel about them. We also planned out meals. We even had someone come in and cook for us, which was a little bit extreme, but there were 19 of us. So
yeah, it actually wasn't extreme because you wouldn't want me or Dani to cook for you.
That is a true statement right there. A very true statement. But it was just fun. We did a champagne toast to kick off the whole retreat, which was fun. Of course, in true fashion, we set up a photo backdrop for everyone to take pics on. And they did, and they were all posting it. So we had all of our students that follow all of us seeing how much fun we were having while we were also working. So these are just a few of the things that we did during the retreat. But those few days really didn't feel like that much work to us because we were having fun with our staff. I mean, for Becca and I, the planning part was definitely work.
And we really did.
We did work.
We did work, and we got a lot done. And I think that that was last year. That was before our 25th season, and then this past year, before the 26th season, we did our planning meeting,
our
normal staff meeting, but we rented like I was talking about earlier. They have those different spaces that you can rent, and it was like WeWork. Is that
ours was
this? Space. I can't remember what it's called.
Spaces.
That's what it's called. But it was really cool. So it's basically like a modern little conference room area and stuff. And
it was actually a big conference room.
It was very
really
big.
Cool furniture and glass windows everywhere.
But we had enough room there to kind of we also did the round tables at that meeting as well. And then we just all went out to dinner. But it was just nice to get together in a different space besides the studio, I think.
Exactly. I think that's the key is just getting everyone together, but outside of their normal workspace, being the dance studio.
Yeah.
You get into the actual studio and your mindset is all over the place and completely different than where it needs to be.
So basically number 4 is just to plan a fresh start to your dance season. And that could be now too. Like if you wanted to plan a fresh start to
your spring
to 2019, your spring or your summer, like I think you could apply this to any time. We usually do it in the fall or the late summer, right before we start.
Yes.
So now number 5 is the most important one, and it is to refresh yourself. So obviously it's so important. You cannot do any of these things if you don't make time for yourself. And I think it's so hard for dance teachers because we're so busy. Like we're busy during the day, and then our day really doesn't start till 3:30, and then it ends at 9:30 or 10. And then on weekends we have rehearsals and we have conventions, we have competitions, and
it's just never ending. It's never ending.
So a lot of times it's really, we forget to take time for ourselves.
We think it's never ending.
Yeah. So here are a few quotes for you to think about.
Do you recharge yourself as much as you recharge your phone?
I don't think so.
Very good question.
Okay. The next one is, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you.
Self-care isn't selfish.
There is nothing in nature that blooms all year long, so don't expect yourself to do so either.
When things don't add up, it's time to subtract.
Be there for others, but never leave yourself behind. So anyway, these are all just good ones. And if you go on Pinterest and just search self-care quotes, there are so many to just make you think about it. So basically, again, what we're saying is that you are the most important factor in the success of your studio and of your students. But if you don't take the time to refresh and recharge yourself, you're going to find that success is much harder to reach. So you deserve time off. And sometimes with schedules like ours, we tend, or I know I do this, like I tend to, on a Sunday afternoon, I'll just be like, well, I'm just going to like work for like an hour. I'm just going to accomplish this one thing that I didn't have time to get to. And the next thing I know, I've worked for 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. So I think it's really important to try to resist this. And I'm saying this to myself as much as I'm saying it to you.
Exactly.
But I think it's just important to make sure if you have to plan the time each week that's just for you, plan it. Put it on your calendar. Do not look at your phone for the first 3 hours of your day or whatever it is. Just try to really make time to plan for you to have time off. And then in addition, I think plan a bigger trip, plan a weekend trip away, or a bigger vacation during whatever time of year works best for you. Like for us, the best time is in June, right after we finish our show. I think that everybody feels so good about themselves and so accomplished because you have completed your season.
You feel like you can breathe again.
Yes. And I think that we close the studio for a full week.
Everybody has the week off.
Everybody has the week off after the show.
Yeah, no one is expected to do anything.
We don't have rehearsals. We don't have open classes. We don't have a summer camp. We don't have anything. So for us, that is a great time for us to plan a real legitimate vacation. But it could be right after your first big competition of the season. It could be after your first big performance. Maybe you do a Nutcracker. Maybe you should plan your trip after that, or plan it during the holiday season because we really do take time off then, or on Mother's Day. I think just you have to plan it. If you do not plan it, you can think in your mind, I'm going to do a vacation this summer. I'm going to take a weekend retreat, whatever. But if you do not actually do it, the time comes and goes.
And don't just plan it by sticking it on your calendar. Make a reservation.
Yes.
Buy a plane ticket. Do whatever you need to do to commit yourself.
Yeah. And I mean, it could be a staycation. If you know that you can stay home or rent a cabin nearby or check into a hotel for the weekend or whatever it is, just do something so that you're not going to be tempted to work. So here are some other ideas just around here. Like you could do a spa day. You could do a yoga retreat. You take an art class. You can go for a hike. You can binge watch your favorite show or find a new show.
Easy to do from your couch.
Yes.
No expense at all.
Or plan like a real trip, like a beach vacation. Just make sure that you do something. There's so many fun things you can do to refresh yourself, but you actually have to take action and do them for it to work for you.
So to recap our 5 done but with fun things to refresh your upcoming year. Number 1, freshen up your workspace. Number 2, plan to attend a workshop or dance conference to freshen up your dance life. Number 3, plan a fresh start to your season with a staff retreat. Number 4, fresh and new mega calendar for your wall for everyone to see. And number 5, and most importantly, make plans to refresh yourself. We have a fresh themed playlist on our Spotify account. So check that out. It's called Fresh, and it has all kinds of fun songs related to fresh and vacationing and fun.
And our Spotify account is Confetti on the Dance Floor. So if you just go on Spotify and search for that. Also on our Instagram account, I have the Spotify account linked. So you can check out the link there and get to that. So you can listen to the Fresh playlist while you're planning out all of your new fresh things. Also, we talked about this early, but we wanted to remind you about our Confetti Spark Source. It's just a little planner, and it's a great way to kick off your new year. It gives you a template for your year, and there's lots of blank space in there for planning. There's a self-care section. Just check it out. It's just a great thing to specifically for this time of year, I think. It's really like a guided goal setting specific to dance teachers. So check that out on our website, confettionthedancefloor.com. And also make sure you're following us on Instagram. That is our social media platform of choice. We're on Facebook as well, but you can find us at Rhythm Dance Center and at Confetti on the Dance Floor, and feel free to interact with us, DM us. We love to be social on social media. And I think that wraps up our podcast for today. So we hope we've given you some good inspo for a fresh new year, and we will be back next week to help you make dance fun.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode from Becca and Dani from Confetti on the Dance Floor and co-owners of Rhythm Dance Center in Georgia. Please come back next week for another amazing episode from these lovely ladies who are hosting our 8-part series, Make Dance Fun with Confetti on the Dance Floor. And if you haven't yet got your tickets to Dance Studio Domination, our 3-day live event happening in New York City from the 2nd to the 4th of August 2019, jump on over to our website, dsoa.com/domination for all the details. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.